Hello there, and welcome to Sling Paint Gaming, hosted by Recon Specialist TV. I'm Patrick,
And I'm Padre.
and today we are doing the unboxing of the four latest tanks from Gale Force 9, the Cromwell, the Stuart, the T-34, and the Panzer over in this corner. Uh, what do we do? What do we do first? Which one?
Let's do the Cromwell.
All right, Cromwell it is. It's already right in front here. Uh,
That's why I said let's do the Cromwell.
exactly. So, for people asking, I mean, I did, of course, grab the original Cromwell just to
That came
see.
with the core set.
Huh? It came with the
Now
core
that
set,
right.
and we're going to see. All right. Now, we haven't looked at any of these cards, by the way. We haven't looked at any of them. Not even
Are you
online.
sure? Corporal, did you peek?
I peeked. Just on the Cromwell. I didn't peek on any others. Just the Cromwell.
How did you peek?
I know. I'm so ashamed.
God.
But I saw a comment online, and then that jumped me into looking it up, and it was only the Cromwell that I looked at because I really wanted to look at him. All right. As you can tell, right out of the box, I mean, they're exactly the same. There's no difference between them. They come apart in the same way. They have the same parts. They're it's not a different color paint or anything. There's no different graphics on it. If you're looking at these for the first time ever, so we'll do a close up of it. So basically, you've got your standard Cromwell, all four sides. There you go. You got your nice little treads over here. Your turret will move around on top. It's got a peg that you can easily just, chop off, magnetize, or you can leave it as that. Doesn't matter. And it goes on. And it's a really nice looking tank. Now, you've actually painted things like this already, some of these
Yes,
tanks.
I have.
The primer is amazing because you can just go right over it.
Yep.
And it's not a bad color to begin with. It's got that metallic look to it. It's really, I'm not going to lie. These tanks are very detailed as well.
Honestly, if you want to do something very just quick and dirty on it, paint the treads and throw some decals on it. Boom, you're on the table and you're looking good.
Yeah, you
If
don't
you
have
don't
to go
want to do
crazy about
a
it.
bloody thing to it, don't touch it. Put it on the mat. Play. You're good.
All
If
right.
you want to go super detailed, do it. You're
Yeah.
good. It doesn't matter.
So here we go. This is the reason why you're here. It's the cards, really.
Yes.
Still the same. Firepower 4, mobility of 3, initiative 8, survivability of 1 and 5 crew members that you can take. Cost 47 points. 47.
It's not the cheapest tank out there.
And it is a medium tank for, a movement of 3. That's pretty good. And it
Yeah.
also gets to do that reroll on attacking. Other than that, let's get into the other cards. The ones that I peeked at.
Medium-sized tank.
The
Love
ones,
it. Love it. Love it.
yeah, the ones that I'm excited for. All right. So this is why I mentioned the cost. As you can see, this is a 3.7-inch howitzer.
That's her.
And if I mispronounce it, please don't hesitate to comment below. We've got the Cromwell Churchill number 7. -1 attack. Big gun. Very interesting.
Yes.
Which is when attacking, you may modify a hit to a crit. But what is that? You see that, Robert? What's that?
It looks like a number 7 with a minus thing in front of it.
A -7. So that 47-point Cromwell all of a sudden goes right down to a 40-point Cromwell, which if you're playing the classic 200 points, that means you could fit 5 of these bad boys in the list. Yeah, exactly. The Rolls-Royce Meteor MK 4B. That's an engine. The Cromwell Comet. I like the names of these things. They're just absolutely awesome. The Cromwell Comet. Is it? Well, you would know more than me. It's a Rolls-Royce engine, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is.
So I mean,
And not
historically accurate.
Rolls-Royce made great tank engines, and they made great plane engines, and I mean, Rolls-Royce was huge for England in all of their war materials.
There it is, England right there. So +2 during the movement phase on a tank that's already an initiative of 8 base. So I mean, for 3 points,
So,
that's not a bad
so
kick.
you upped it to a 10.
Yeah, we just bring it up to a 10. Easy. All right, the vertical stabilizers. Can you read that one, Robert?
While stationary or while you have a movement 1 token, you may re-roll 1 attack die. Now,
So,
mind you, add that on to the 1 re-roll you're going to get for being a medium-based tank.
yeah, so you're going to be re-rolling 2 dice if you move once. I mean, you can throw on multiple things that's going to let your tank take that movement and not count as your movement, like, I don't know, Sixth Sense, if you throw that
Right.
onto your beautiful tank, or that other card that lets you move before the game even starts, so you can get a head start with that tank, still shoot with your 3 attack dice while
Right.
re-rolling 2 of them, and also changing a hit to a crit. Hmm, for yeah, for 4 points, that's not bad. And you can also make that thing a movement or a mobility of 10. So
Yeah,
basically, you can minus it by 7 and then add another 7 points with the Rolls-Royce uh, engine and then the stabilizers back up to 47, and you have an amazing tank that's it can basically re-roll all to its heart's delight. Uh,
which
call?
is not.
No, not bad at all. All right, call for vengeance. You want to read this one?
When this tank is destroyed, all other tanks in this platoon gain a +1. Oh my God,
Initiative.
Patrick, thank you. When this tank is destroyed, all other tanks in this platoon gain a +1 initiative until the end of the next turn.
Yeah,
So this is basically almost like Dead Man Switch.
basically. Yeah. Um, it's going to just make all of your other tanks just +1 for that extra turn, and it's not a movement, it's not a shooting, it is your base initiative. So,
Well, take into consideration until the end of the next turn. So if this tank goes
Kaplawi.
plow at the very first shot, your tanks are going to get +1 right then and there. So say you got your 3 other Cromwells in your list here,
Hmm.
they get +1, and then they get +1 for the next turn.
Yeah, and you can see this is a basic crew. It's 1 point. It can go with any faction. So you can put this on multitude of tanks, and every
Here,
time that someone kills a tank,
need for this.
yeah, a staple. this is this is one of those great cards, honestly, for 1 point. So
Yep,
one of your lists blows up, everything gets boosted, and especially when you're trading initiative every turn with the dice roll,
right.
this could make it to where, like, oh yeah, sure, you won the initiative for this turn, but it doesn't matter. You just killed one of my tanks last turn. All my tanks are now +1. All those ties go away. I'm now going to be able to move and shoot before you, depending on the initiatives. Amazing card,
Nice.
absolutely. All right, finally, Wayne Turvey,
The
unique,
Wayne Turvey?
the Wayne Turvey. And he's got the gunner, chair seat, the designated target. When shooting, the defending tank does not gain the in cover bonus if it has already shot in this phase or has a movement token, which is pretty good because if you're
Yeah,
minusing your 1 attack die, now it makes it to where they're going to be down a defense die at the same time. So it's going to trade off. And then
right.
Deadeye. This is another one of those cards that is just great. It's in this, gunner's ability as a generic ability, which is basically when you do a crit damage, you draw 2 cards instead of 1. You get to choose which to apply, which is absolutely amazing, especially when you're going to be dropping down to a 3 attack tank, but you're going to be getting those crits through eventually. So,
Right.
wow,
And
absolutely amazing.
you know what? That's a stiff cost, but look at the power that it holds for 11 points.
Yeah, 11 points. And so that's the other thing. He is a unique British crew, so he doesn't have to go into your Cromwell. He can go into other British tanks and
Correct.
use his ability of the being able to take a crit, change it in, or taking the 2 crit cards and then applying the one that he really wants. So don't think that, oh well, that's not going to go well on my 3 attack tank. Well, you don't have to apply this howitzer. You don't
Yeah.
have to put it on the Cromwell. It can be any British tank, and eventually those heavy tanks are going to come out. So just wait and be patient. At this point, we're just collecting cards here.
Throw it into, a Valentine.
Yeah, throw it into that Valentine. Make it a little bit more beefier. All right, that's our. Oh, here, let me put this away here. Let me put it back in. Drop
Are you
it in
putting?
there. Huh?
You're putting it back in.
Yeah, I am putting it back in.
All right, well, put it back in.
I am putting it back in. All right, there we go. There's our Cromwell. All right,
Fold it.
you fold it in. You fold it in,
Just fold
David. So
it.
here we go.
Okay.
Panzer. As we can see, it's the same as the previous Panzer. It's still got that huge barrel. It's got the armor on the turret sides, or an armor on the actual sides as well, because some of the Panzers didn't always have that full armor.
You know, I got to say something about Gale Force 9 and their blister packs here.
Yep.
They're so nice to get into. They're so easy to get into.
Yeah, because I play, or actually we play, so many different modeled games, and I'm going to say there's nothing really to get into it other than you just got to pop that staple off, and then you're dealing with a nice piece of plastic. It comes out. There's not much paper. There's not much waste. I mean, it might not seem important to point that out, but for us, it kind of is, because I hate throwing away all of the paper and plastic that we have to for our other games, and there's a lot of waste.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. This is for the people who haven't seen it yet, but here's the Panzers. They look exactly the same. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The new one looks a little bit darker. Let me flip
Just
it
a
this way.
tad. Just a tad. But you know what? That's, paint variance from batch to batch to batch to batch.
Yeah, still looks a little darker. But everything on it exactly the same. Turret comes off just like this. You have the gorgeous armor on the side and on the top, and you've got your nice little gun out the front here. You've got your hatches, and
Your
under.
muzzle brake,
Yep.
very well defined.
Yeah, and even the detail under the side armor here. You
Side
can see,
skirts.
yeah, you can see it down in there. So, oh man, how did they get that in there? Actually, I know how they did it, but I'm actually trying to look into it. So you can see like this entire top piece is separate and had to be glued down on top
Well,
of it.
don't forget when the models were put together yourself, you added the side skirts as one step,
Yeah, I mean,
and so you had all the detail that was underneath. So
well,
these
it
are,
looks seamless, is my point. It looks
yeah,
so seamless and good.
So don't be afraid to battle damage these too. I mean,
Yeah,
pop those sides off, put some dents in them, cut some panels out, put them back on.
yeah.
You're looking good. You're looking fine. You can simulate battle damage onto those side skirts very easily.
Yeah, and trust me, everyone, I am looking on those Facebook posts every day. Your paint jobs are top notch. All the scenery that you're doing and adding, and even the people who are like melting tanks down into like a nice little plastic base to make it look like it's sunk in the mud. I see it all. It's amazing. I can't wait to try it myself.
Gorgeous stuff.
All right, what do we got for the Panzer there, Padre?
Well, once again, we've got a 4 firepower, we have a 1 survivability, we've got a 5 initiative, and we have a 2 on the mobility side.
Yep, we've got 5
So
crew, 4
5,
health.
4 health. Yeah, it's a Panzer.
Yep. And you got the medium base. I still love these descriptions. The G variant on the Panzer was produced starting in May 1942. In April 1943, production began on the H variant, eventually the most massively produced version of the Panzer. Oh, and it's just great history. Amazing. All right.
Yep, yep. Great take. And once again, it's that medium base. I love the medium base.
All right. We've seen something like this before with the Stug or Stug or Stugawugga. 10.5 CM
Yep.
KWK L28, 3
Gun.
points. Yeah. High explosives adds 2 to your attack. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, this one scares me.
Say that again.
What?
Add 2 to your attack.
Because with the Stug or Stug, uh, you had to really sit still with it with all 6 of its attack die to make sure that you get those crits and also your other upgrades that change a hit to a crit to make sure you're pushing those through. On this on this Panzer over here with already 4 yeah, this little guy with 4 attack on it. Now it's 6. You get a reroll for 1 automatically.
And then
Oh,
you're going to discard all of your hits before assessing damage, though.
yeah, so only crits go through, but still, it's if you roll, let's say, 4 hits and 2 crits, and your opponent only rolls hits for defense, that means you get to cancel all of their hits with your hits first. Your crits are going to go through. All you're doing is rolling more dice to increase the odds of rolling a crit. And
That,
let me tell you, we hail from X-Wing. Crits appear only once out of an 8-sided die. This is a 6-sided die. Your odds are much higher for it to come up as a 6. So the more
yep,
dice that you include, the more chances, especially with rerolls and modifications and stuff like that.
yep,
So yeah, that's just the first card. Here we go.
yeah.
Here we go. Oh, there it is.
What is that? Chocolate?
Panzer Chocolat.
It's not the special chocolate, though.
Oh, don't worry, fans. We're going to make an alt-art card for this. We don't know which direction we're going to go, but we're definitely going to make a Panzer Chocolate or a Panzer Chocolate card alt-art. 100%. I have to. 1 point. Discard to use repair all radio damage or bailed out critical cards.
Nice card to have when you need it.
That's the one I care about. Bailed out.
Held out.
So where's your stapler? Get that stapler out. Yeah, staple it right to your German cards, please, because you're going to be a lot happier when you don't have to bail out every turn. All right, what do we got
I
here,
like
Robert? What's this card?
this. The Jack of all trades, and this is a basic crew card. It's going to cost you 4. It falls under the commander. You're going to get a +2 during the shooting phase. At the start of each turn, you may flip this card. What's the
Yeah,
other side say?
the other
I'm
side.
anxious to see.
Ooh, are we
Oh,
getting 2-sided cards all of a
yes.
sudden?
You get a +2 during the movement phase. At the start of each turn, you may flip this card.
Wow.
Oh, so basically, it's 2 points each side.
Yeah, and guess what? It's basic.
Yeah,
You're basic, jack of all trades. You're basic. You get this for 4 points, and you
4
can
points.
just mess with people. So,
Yep,
and it's
4
at the
points.
start of each turn as well. It's not at
Yeah,
the end of
flip
your
it.
turn, so you can wait for that roll to see who gets the initiative, and then you're like, you know
And
what?
decide what you want to do.
Well,
Do I
it's
keep it this way? Do I flip it?
yeah,
You know, it's a very versatile card.
yeah. Well,
Very versatile card. And I'd say it's going to be worth the 4 points.
yeah, well, it's okay. You've won the initiative. That means the tank that now we both share an initiative with. Well, we both share one tank, but we both share the same movement initiative. But I know I need to move last. I'm going to flip
Hmm.
this over to the movement side, and it's like,
Yep,
oh, good. Now I have the initiative. I'm going to move after you. I can now flip it to make sure that I shoot after you or shoot after another tank that might have me in its sights. That's just really good, and it's a
yeah,
double-sided card as well, which is I
yeah.
think a first.
I like it.
All right, what do we got here?
We got the Armorer once again. Basic card, 1 point. I like that. Falls under the gunner slot. You are going to get a +1 firepower while this tank is affected by a crew stunned or optics damaged critical card. So you may be damaged, you may be hurt, but this is going to give you a little boost in your firepower to hopefully get you through to the next bit.
Yep, and another one, another basic that goes on any tank in the
Now,
game.
and a 1 point wonder. A 1 point wonder. This is basic. So
It's a
yeah,
basic.
throw that on your Stewart.
Yeah, honestly, because especially with when we get into heavier tanks, crits are going to come up more often,
Yep.
and you'll want more attack dice in your heavies. But I don't
Yep.
know. It's interesting because I know there's already another card out there that is very similar. So I mean, you might be able to stack them eventually. All right,
Now who's on this card, Patrick?
we got Hans Balza. He's
Hans Bolter. That
yeah,
guy still owes me $5.
he does. Especially, yeah, and after compounded interest, that's probably worth a lot more than $5 since 1942.
Yeah, that's
So
$9.53 now.
clearly from the Germans, he has 6 points. He's a radio operator. He has situational awareness. For 6 points, that's already good. I mean, you don't have to read the next part, but you can. For next two additional initiative, that's pretty freaking good. Now we have Call for Vengeance. When this tank is destroyed, all of the tanks in this platoon gain +1 initiative till the end of the next turn. So yeah, he gets initiative, and then he also gives initiative. That's pretty incredible for 6 points.
That's going to be fantastic. It's going to be,
Yeah,
know, can't go wrong with that card. I'm
you
sorry.
really can't. So there you have it. There's the Panzer and all its upgrades and glory. Let's go to the next
Thank
one.
you, Gale Force 9, for actually thinking some cards through and giving us something that is going to be useful and fun and not detrimental to the game.
Yes, I mean, I'm glad that they were able to get all this stuff out. COVID, of course, is affecting it. About shipping and also all of the releases and stuff like that. So I'm glad we were able to get our hands on it. Thank you, Tabletop Gaming, out of Newington, Connecticut. You were able to order for me and get this during
What have you
COVID
got there,
times.
Patrick?
Well, this is your tank. I might as well make you read like every single card. But there's the Sherman.
I love me as I really, 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 really do.
Well, you've made me dislike the Shermans. I really dislike them because they're a good firepower. Their initiatives base is a 6, so I
Yeah.
can't really do anything because it's the Americans. They were crazy in World War II.
Yes, they were.
And that's why, because they even with these tanks, like, hey, let's just run at them at 30 miles an hour flat out and just shoot at them. Is that good? Yeah, works great.
Sure. Get
Uh,
behind them.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've covered this before, but immense detail. You've got the open doors in the back. You've got the does it even have the hatches? No, it doesn't have the hatches in the bottom, which would be really cool. But it's got the shovels. It's got the rounded, I now say smooth edges, as it should be, instead of the
Yes, as
pointed
opposed
old ones.
to the early Shermans, which were, let's just say, a little sharp.
Exactly. That's why I didn't. I liked them, but I didn't appreciate them. These I vastly appreciate.
Right.
Because now they look like they should, and that I
Yeah.
appreciate the effort that that Gale Force 9, apologize, that Gale Force 9 put into the details in these things.
Yeah. Now, the one thing you can do with these, and I don't know if there's lots of guys who had the tanks left over from tanks, the
Yeah,
skirmish game. I still have all sorts of machine guns and little things that I didn't use in the first round
yep,
that I can add to these.
yeah,
And
little
if
bits and
you still
pieces.
got your parts and your bits and bobs, go to
Because
town.
if
Make
you
them
look,
yours.
they left the options. They've got the little divots in
Yes,
each.
they
If you want to fill those in.
and if you want to throw an antenna whip on there, get my biggest suggestion is go up to a guitar store and ask them for some of their old guitar strings, because once you cut that on the thin strings, they make perfect antenna whips.
Yeah, they look. Oh, that's actually a good idea. All right.
And you just heat up the end and embed it into the plastic, and it'll seal up, and you're good to go.
Oh, that's such a good idea. All right, the M4A1 Sherman at a whopping 37 points, medium base tank, 4 firepower, 1 survivability, 6 initiative, 2 mobility, 5 crew, 4 hit
And
points,
it's,
and of course, medium tank can reroll that 1 attack die. A very small description. The first production of the Sherman was the most common American tank with an amazing total of 50. It's 49,000 to, I'm going to say 50,000 vehicles manufactured,
yeah,
and it first saw combat in North Africa. Oh, bam! Let's leave that up here. All right.
yeah, because it's just pretty.
Now, this I'm not a fan of because it's very similar to what we just saw. It's the 105 millimeter gun, the M4, 2 attack dice, -1 to your initiative. I'm happy about that, but it has the also high explosives. So
Right
we're gonna have to test out some high explosives here, Robert.
now, Here's where it makes this card a bit more palatable to you. What's the cost?
1.
Okay,
You know what? Let's go back. What was the cost of the other on the Panzer? Look at that. This is 3.
3,
This
and
one's
that's a
1.
10.5 centimeter, and that's a 10.5 centimeter.
Yeah, the only difference is the -1 initiative on the Sherman.
Yep.
And basically it makes it a Panzer because the Panzer's a 5, Sherman's a 6, so you'll basically be getting a Panzer.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Only because I know I have to play against these things when you take them constantly.
Yeah, well, some people like them.
Exactly. All right, what do we got?
Well, we got a large repair kit. It's going to cost you 2. You're going to have to discard to use it, but that's okay. If you're using it, you need to. So you're going to repair an engine damage, pardon me, a jammed turret, a track destroyed, or an optics damaged.
Yeah.
So all those critical cards right there. So that's what? One, two, three, 4 crits that you could possibly get rid of for 2 points.
I mean, the good
2
thing about
points.
this is I like that they're putting these in the in the expansions because I want more of them for multiple tanks instead of just having the one that I think comes with the
Hey,
core.
you can throw it onto any tank.
Yeah, exactly. It's a basic upgrade that can go on anything.
Oh,
Oh.
look, that's so cute. It's a case of cola in a red box with white cola.
The COLA cola. Yeah. I do like that art. That is some solid red right there.
That's as close as you can get to copyright infringement as you can
So
without crossing that line.
that would be my first question. Is that Coca-Cola red or is it like a couple shades up or down?
Different, different. Don't,
I know.
but
Oh, jeez.
it's beautiful. I like what they did.
I
I really
Yeah,
did.
no, that is a solid color, very vibrant, and the
Yep.
cola is perfect. I don't know. That might be another alt art card that would be definitely in the future. Put a polar bear on there or something, or Santa Claus.
Now, now it is a consumable, which
Yep.
is okay. It's US only for the 1 point. Let me reiterate 1 point. And of course, you're going to have to discard to use this card. And once again, you get to repair a radio damaged or a bailed out critical card.
Yep.
So for one 1 point, you can get rid of 2 things. So I mean, realistically speaking, huh?
Yep.
Isn't that convenient?
Basically, just a staple card.
Look, they got chocolate, we got caffeine and sugar.
Yeah. Yeah. Caffeine. That's the secret ingredient. Okay. Relaying. It's a basic upgrade. 6 points for a radio operator. At the start of the shooting phase, choose another tank to gain this tank's base initiative until the end phase. So not that tank's, souped up initiative after you've given it all its upgrades. It's base initiative. So I mean, this is going to go on your Cromwells. This is going to go on your Valentines. It's an amazing upgrade just to throw on.
Right. And we don't know what kind of goodies are in store in the future with the next waves that are coming out. And
Yeah.
this card might be an indication of stuff you might want to do later on down the road in borrowing some initiative from another tank.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And it's even sillier because I mean, you can go on the websites, you can look up the current tanks that are coming out, most of their stat cards. But really, we haven't scratched the surface on light tanks,
Nope.
or heavy tanks, and
Nope.
also artillery tanks. So when it
Yeah.
comes to cards like this, I don't know what a light tank is going to be in the end. It could be Initiative 10 for all I know. And so this might be a crazy staple upgrade card for them. You just take one of them. You just pass off the initiative when you need it during the shooting phase and call it a day.
Yeah. I don't know what the Americans are going to use for a heavy tank because we didn't have one.
Uh, technically,
Yeah. Because the
but
Persian is not a heavy
I was
tank.
gonna say that the closest thing would be the Pershing. Well, I mean, we do have currently the Valentine, which, in my honest opinion, is not a light tank, but it is a light tank. I mean,
Yeah.
if you guys have never seen Pentagon Wars, trust me, it's worth a watch because you will literally hear someone say it's not a tank, it's a troop carrier 12 times. So, and that was about the oh, what tank was that in that movie? Um, oh, geez, I'll
Which
remember in the Pentagon Wars.
oh, I don't know.
I know you don't. It's a very famous tank, and I can't remember. Someone's gonna hate me. Comment down below, but don't worry. Um,
Yeah.
it's such a funny movie, and it definitely points out to the fact that one tank is not that type of tank. It's supposed to be another tank, but they keep adding stuff to it, like we do with these upgrades. So you're gonna
What you
turn a
mean,
tank into something that it's not.
like the Abrams?
Yeah, like the Abrams. Oh, Jesus. All right, so last but not least, Michael Hanneman is a unique American, 8 points. What does he do, Robert?
Well, he's a driver who really specializes in off-road driving. So he's going to get +2 initiative during the movement phase. Then he's got preventative maintenance when defending. I like that. When defending, this tank may modify a hit to a crit.
Yes. So there have been lots of questions on why that you would even want something like that. Um, so I can definitively tell you it's a good card for when you don't want to die, basically. So
Yeah.
your tank has 1 health left. You guys roll your dice. All of a sudden, he rolls enough of something to where he has the option to either push a hit or a crit through, and you say, you know what? I'd rather you not. I'd rather you just try to push a crit through instead, please, because then that gives me the chance of survival.
Yep. Because you might get the bad crit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you might get the good crit that gives you 0 damage, or you might get a really bad crit that all of a sudden just does 3 damage and blows you up. You really never
Right.
know. So, I mean, that's why that's a decent card. 8 points is a little steep.
Yeah, it is. But if used under the right conditions and you might want to try it.
Yeah. I mean, even down the road, you might have it to where a tank, instead of needing crits to go through only, it might need hits to go through only. So don't cancel those cards out yet. There might be some tank in the future that doesn't benefit from crits. All right. Now we're going to do my favorite tank, the one that Padre hates the most because I take it a lot. And it has.
I
Oh,
appreciate this tank, by the way, sir. And
oh
if you
yeah.
remember correctly, I used it in a tank battle against you.
Yeah, and it worked great. You never take the,
That's it.
the Russians,
I know you were
the
like,
Ruskies.
doing. I'm like, bringing a Russian.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's such a good
How did that
tank.
keep working? Oh, we were playing capture the flag. Oh, that's right, I won.
Is that capture the flag or was that? Oh yeah, because you took the SC-100 in the capture the base. All right. So again, identical. You've got the.
Yep.
Yes, and by the way, people, the exhaust points downwards when you make your tanks,
Yeah.
because a lot of people flip them up because you think, oh, the exhaust just goes up just like everything else. No, it's got to point it down. That way, water can't get in if they get submerged for a little bit. So you've got your nice grating in the back. You've got your hatches. Um, yeah, you're gonna say there's not a lot of detail to these things. Guess what? There never was when they made these. Um,
Russian tank. We just do simple to get out of factory. Sometimes we not even paint.
yeah, exactly. These were rushed out. Um,
See a Russian tank in a primer color was not uncommon.
yeah, and the other thing is with the other tanks that you have in your arsenal, like the SU-100, it literally is the same tank. It just has the it built in instead of having the turret.
Yeah.
They did that with a lot of their tanks, and they just modified them a little bit for whatever they needed it for. So you're like, you need a tank with a turret? Yeah, here, take this base and then put that turret on there. Or yeah, no, take this and take that and put it on here. Lower that down. There you go. You have a completely different tank.
Yep.
So there you go. I mean, gorgeous tanks. Let us know if you've painted them, how they've come out. You know, what you prefer. But yeah,
Yep.
I do like that nice little sheen they've got to it. So.
I know one guy who chromed his.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I need to see that. You need to send that to me, or at least link it to me.
The
All right.
Russians pimped one out. That was what they did.
Go ahead, read this off.
34. He's going to have a firepower of 4, which is nice. Survivability of 1. He's going to have a mobility of 3. Did I mention he has a mobility of 3?
Yep.
And he's going to have an initiative, oh my God, of 6. Now, the problem with this tank, in my opinion, though, we have 4 crew, which kind of limits you a
Yeah.
little bit to piling on the goodies, but you can still pile on a lot of stuff with this. And of course, like all good medium tanks, got 4 hit points.
Yep. And it gets
What's the
that
cost
nice.
back?
This bad boy is 40 points.
40 points.
So
So,
compared to the Sherman, which has 1 less mobility, compared to the Cromwell, which has 1 more hit point than
right.
the T-34. It has a hit point of 5. You're balancing it out because this one's 47, this one's 40, and the Sherman is a base of 37. So pick your flavor. They're all
Yep.
really good tanks.
Yep. Once again, medium tank,
Yep. And
not heavy.
not
Nice.
heavy.
Not heavy tank.
Nope. It's just all around a solid tank. All right. Here we go. The 57 millimeter. What does it do, Robert?
Well, for the T-34, it's going to give you a +1 initiative. It's also going to give you arrow shot. So when attacking, you must, this is not a may, this is a must, you must modify a crit to a hit.
Yep. +1 initiative, -1.
-1.
Oof. I don't know if I agree with that assessment of the cost because I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the +1 initiative because you had the other card that minused your initiative and gave you +2 attack. Oh, and that one was how many points was that guy? The 105 is 1 point.
Point, and
Meanwhile,
then the
you've
other
got
one was
this one just gives you +1 initiative and loses
okay.
one of your
Now
crits.
this particular gun, you understand, is about half the size of the 105 millimeter.
Oh yeah, there's a
So
comparing number, 105 to 57. But
yeah, so I mean, it's not a powerhouse of a gun. That's
I
why
know.
they're doing this must thing. And for the -1 cost, yeah, you know what? For losing that firepower, you're not getting any firepower.
Yeah. So I mean, it gives you it gives you a 7 initiative, which is really
Right.
good. Uh,
So position. Hopefully, maybe you can get a side shot, anything like that. Duck under in the back of a hill, whatever you have to do. Uh, so you have that. Don't forget, it's got 3 mobility. So you're going to be squirting around. You're going to be getting around things. You're going to try and uh, use every trick in the book so that you can get shots through.
and it's -1, so it makes you a 39-point tank. Oh, solid. All right. Enhanced suspension, basic upgrade for 2 points, +1 during your movement phase. So I like cards like this.
Keep bumping it up a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah, I like having extras of these because they're not unique. I can put them on almost any one of my tanks,
Right.
and I can do it multiple times. I don't have to only do it on one tank. I can put it on 3 or 4 tanks if I really need them to move a little bit faster. All right, what do we got here?
Designated target. When shooting, the defending tank does not gain the in cover bonus if it already has shot in this phase or if it has a movement token. We've seen this before.
Yep.
This, though, is a 5-pointer.
Yeah, this was just on one of the tanks here. Oh, who was it? Oh, it's one of the guys. I think it's in the Cromwell. But yeah, again, basic card. I like it. I like stacking them. So that way, even when you know you're against an opponent that has lots of cover, you just start negating that cover. All
Again,
right.
our preventive maintenance card.
Yeah, when defending, this tank may modify a hit to a crit, 5 points.
So those two cards in conjunction.
Yeah, exactly. Those 2 cards in conjunction. But the question is I don't know. There's other cards that you could do to where it would increase your initiative for one. So
Yes.
I don't think.
Oh, it's going to be anything. It's you're making a cake,
Yeah,
but some cakes have different flavors. So who knows how you're going to use it or the way you're going to use it.
I know. So I wouldn't put those cards necessarily together because there's other. I mean, you literally have other cards that can increase your initiative, but it's almost to where if your cards are on another tank and you need to increase your initiative really quick, this would be one of the cards to do it. Um, but to each their own. You might just put preventative maintenance on it and not the T-34, 57 millimeter, or you might just put the 57 millimeter and not the preventative maintenance. Uh,
Right.
yeah, each their own.
It just gives you more options for what you might want to do. That's all
Exactly.
it's going to do.
It's just I'm glad they put it in there because then I can keep it for other tanks that I'm going to take. All right,
Absolutely.
Sergei Mironov is 5 points unique. He's radio operator. What's he do?
As situational awareness. So you're going to get a +2 on the initiative side. And then in firefighting, re-roll a failed repair roll when repairing an engine fire. So for 5 points, you roll that die. Oh, I failed it. Oh no, that's okay. We have situational awareness. Go ahead, re-roll for engine fire. Oh look, now you make everything is good, and you are not discarding this card.
Yeah, that's just going to keep going.
Keep in
It
mind
doesn't go
when you
away.
have your crit cards and it's the crit has been dealt out, you've taken your damage. That crit card goes back into the deck. Shuffle up. You may get that card again the next time.
Yeah. So for
That's
five
okay. I
points.
have situational awareness. I can do whatever I want.
Oh, this is like a tricky pack of cards that came in this one. This is like the only time where I think you don't want to put all 5 cards on your tank to start. I think you're going to want to only put a couple.
Well, sometimes a stripped down tank with just the right boost here and there is a good thing.
Yeah. So, oh God, like really,
You know,
really good packs in this go around.
gotta understand. I mean, the Russian tankers, those guys were absolutely fantastic. I mean, they were insane. They did stuff that you're thinking, how the hell can they do this? They just had tenacity. They went the distance and then went a little bit further, and then it was like, well, we need to go a little bit further, and we'll do that. And considering what they were up against in World War II, I love
Mhm.
me those crazy Russian guys. What we're gonna say is if you're on the fence about buying these tanks because they came in the core set, don't be on the fence because you have new cards to go with these tanks. These upgrades were not in the core set.
Yeah.
That's why you want to buy this set. And besides, now you have, two T-34s, or you have two or three Cromwells, or just, let the list building begin. Prepare your platoons, have some fun. You got to have these cards. You got to have these command cards in order to get the worth out of these. And don't be afraid. Come on, they're $10 a pop. What are you
Yeah.
worried about?
So with
There's
that,
some
that's
miniatures are more money, so
yeah, I know. That is all 4 tanks. I mean, hope you guys, if you did order them, they come soon. If you haven't ordered them and you would like some of these upgrades, you like what you see, go out, please, your local store, pre-order them, have them ship them to you, and just start playing with stuff. Because trust me, eventually you're going to see where you're getting a bang for your buck for not only the models, but all these cards that are going to be able to be equipped to almost any of your tanks, no matter what faction. So even if you don't want to play with the T-34, but you want one of the cards that's in it because it's not faction specific, or you might want to put it on a different tank within the Russians, you're going to want to buy that pack. So, I mean, kudos to Gale Force 9. I think this is a great first wave. I can't wait for more to come. I really can't.
yeah, yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the next wave and the wave after that and the wave after that and the wave after that and the wave after that. and hopefully maybe some new scenarios and maybe some more new waves and some more. I mean, let the floodgates open and give us more of this good stuff.
Absolutely. All right. With that, thank you guys so much. Go ahead and click the like, subscribe, and share button to, spread awareness, let people see what we've got. And also, if you want to get a hold of us, you can leave a comment below, or you can click on any one of the links in our description below. It takes you to our Facebook page, our Patreon, our Discord channel, and so on and so forth. So go ahead and take a look, see what we've got, and come talk to us, ask us questions, or
Yep.
tell us anything you like. So, all right, I'll have everyone have a good one.
See ya.
Later. Thank you again for watching our video. Please click on the like, subscribe, and share button below to help build the channel. Thank you to all of our Patreon members. Your devotion to us, it's driving us to do more content all the time, and we're going to keep bringing you as much as possible. If you want to join any of our social media accounts, you can see them above and in the description below are the links to each of them. You can join our Discord, our 2 Facebook channels, our 2 YouTube channels. We go live on Twitch Saturdays and Sunday nights, and you can also go over to our recontokens.com webpage where you can buy all the latest and greatest tokens for all of your favorite games. And if you don't see them there, go ahead and email us at recontokens@gmail.com, and we can build a custom token, or we can even incorporate your logo into the token, and you can play with them, use them as any type of marker. So thank you again, and have a good day.